What is going on, YouTube? It is Drew Lefty NDV10. Man, I'm on a roll, like 2 videos in a week. I'm a pro now. Watch out, all you guys. No, just back with another video. This one is going to be episode 2 of did I get a steal on eBay or did I get scammed? Now, thankfully, I already know the answer to this one, but I didn't when I bought it. I wasn't 100% sure. So anyways, it's going to be some caramels. I've got some of my favorites up here in the background, just a mishmash of different sets. E98, E94 George Close candy. There's a E97 Briggs lozenge. E93 standard caramel, E95 Philly caramel. We got a, what is that, a Dockman E92 back there. There's an E90-1. So just there's an E101, mishmash of different cards. I love a lot of these caramels. So cool. I love them. They're exponentially harder to find than T206. And I bought most of these within the last 2 to 3 years, and they've steadily gone up since. But the first card, this one, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do with this card. I really do love it. It was just one of those where I was watching an auction, and I knew where this card had been for literally 3 years. And I was watching an auction, and it went for like $500 after, tax and shipping. And so I just kind of hurried over to the site that I knew this was on, and grabbed this one for like 240 bucks. It was a PSA 2 that sold for essentially $500 in the most recent REA auction. And, man, this card is a stunner. It's an E90-1, which I was at one point in time really toying with building that set. I sold off 2 of the incredibly tough Hall of Fame variations or comment, whatever. The problem with the E90-1, I don't recommend anybody build this set. But besides the monetary value, you got the Joe Jackson that's going to cost you $50,000. I mean, it's just not obtainable, really, at least not for myself. But for like your everyday person, there's no $50,000 card in the 520 card T206 set. It's kind of collectively decided that, it's okay if you don't get a $50,000 Eddie Plank or $100,000, whatever they're at now. But E90-1 just has a freaking ton of cards like this George Davis, where, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer, but it's just a short printed card, and it's, it's a $500 card. I mean, there's really, it's so tough, so tough. And I've got several. I think literally tonight on eBay, one of these, a Harry Howell windup, E90-1 sold for like 200 bucks. This is just a short print and in like a 1. So, it's a very tough set. There are some incredible cards. I don't think I'm going to probably keep this long term. I'll probably put it up at a high price if it ever sells. Great. If not, I'll keep it. But really beautiful card. And that's kind of the beauty about caramels. They're very different. This card reminds me of like an Obak. But I do like the look of this card. But enough about that. So onto my eBay story. Did I score big or did I get scammed? Came across a couple cards that a like coin and currency seller. He had some sports stuff, but I don't think he was a big card guy. And I'll post a picture of what I won the card for. It was like $11 plus like $3 or $4 shipping. It was like 15 bucks. And I'll mark out the name and the title and stuff. I'm not trying to blast this guy. He was completely honest. The seller listed it as a possible reprint. And from his pictures, I was like 90% certain that it wasn't a reprint, just because this would be like the most random reprint of all time. But this card is also a blazer. I can totally understand, and I actually appreciate the seller being honest, because, I mean, it was going to be a gamble. I mean, I wouldn't have returned the card if it was fake. I would have just said, hey, you know what? He listed it as possible reprint, and it was. But no, it came back real. So anyways, he had some other stuff I wish I would have bought now that I know for sure that this one is real. When I got it in hand, I called Max today to kind of open it live, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's real. So this is one of my best eBay scores I've had in a long, long time. But without further ado, this is an E101 Anonymous. So it's the same set from the Admiral Schley up there. They just don't know. They call it the one anonymous set, and there's 3. It's like E98, E101, and I think E106. I think, maybe. I could have that one wrong, but they call them the anonymous sets because they don't know what they were distributed in. They assume it was some sort of candy package. But this is a series of 50 baseball players, and this is the back. It doesn't have a checklist like some of the same card images that this set has, so that's how you identify it as an E101. It's 50 baseball players. But, man, this thing is an absolute stunner. Johnny Evers, Hall of Famer. I mean, obviously, I felt great about it, or I wouldn't have threw a bid on it, but to get this card in hand and for it to be as nice as it is, I can totally see why the seller thought this was a reprint. But this thing's legit. It's a 1909. This thing's almost 120 years old. So, yeah, I'm stunned. I think this is a $1,000 card. I think this is probably a PSA 3.5. On a good day, maybe a 4. And I say PSA because if I was going to keep this card, I would throw it in an SGC slab. But I do think this one needs to go to PSA. I just hope they don't hit it with the miscut qualifier, which would be dumb because these caramels specifically were not just cut perfectly like your 2025 Donruss Mojo Shimmer X-Fractor, Breaker Special. These cards were cut with a crude machine, often by hand. So, yeah, it's a stunner. I don't need $1,000 Johnny Evers, which is what I would estimate like a 3 to be worth. So I'll probably sell this to fund an E95 Cobb, which I do need for my set. So I was just happy to get this, really stoked. There's deals out there on eBay. It's been a long time since I've grabbed one this nice, but just got to do your work. And, every now and then you get a little bit lucky, which is what I got in this case. A little bit of skill, a little bit of luck, a little bit of guts. But that's all I got, guys. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.